Hello and welcome to Digital Sync Gaming. I'm Synthesis and this is another episode of OceanBlock2. Okay, after the fiasco of the last episode, which, let's face it, it was a fiasco, we are going to do good stuff. Only good stuff today. Okay, right. Arcane or Ars Magica. Is it Ars Magica or Ars Nouveau? Ars Magica. It's the same shit. It's Ars Nouveau in this one. Okay, so the source gems, obviously, we are continuing with, because, well, you know, I need source gems. What I've also done is created fire clay. Okay, so under here, you've got tinkering around, you've got fire clay, and so I don't know if you, for the old guys here, Tinker's Construct, pretty much this, right? Works really, really similar. For the new guys, this is called productive metal blocks. Okay, so to start, you make fire clay, which is clay plus sand equals fire clay. You smelt it, becomes bricks. And how do we get clay, you ask? Well, funnily enough, there's a jar, and you put gravel and sand in the jar, and a little bit of water, which I'm going to do now, like so. And you put water in there, and then it does stuff, and then literally one sand, one clay becomes 32, or one sand, sorry, and one gravel becomes 32 clay. So really, really cool. And then you smelt it up because, well, that's what you do. You smelt it. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to grab some coal. I don't know whether tiny coal. No. Well, this is tiny coal, so we're going to take the tiny coal anyway. We'll put the tiny coal. That's fine. So if you press Control and Shift and click something, it will automatically send it into the wherever you're trying to get it to. But it will send everything that you've got in there. So kind of nice trick. Right, so we've got this fire clay. I am literally just burning up as much as I possibly can. I should really put another hopper on there, in all honesty, but can't. I didn't think of that. So let's go. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we'll have nothing to yeah. So in all honesty, I mean, we should really put another hopper on there. We've got a couple, so that's fine. And then I can just shove a lot more stuff in there. We need another chest. So we should have a chest in there. I would have thought. Got any chests? Oh, we haven't actually. Okay, that's interesting. We can just make one. That's fine. Like so. And then we'll shove that on top, and then that can just... I'll have to come back and grab some stuff anyway, like, you know, the bricks, but that's good enough for now. Right, okay. We will get to building the clay thing in a moment. We're going to need a few different bits and pieces, but we're going to continue with this. So there are things called source relays, there are things called relays, there are ergon thingamajiggies. These things, ergonomic source links. So these things here basically collect source from around growing things, right? And then we link them to this, and we link them to that, and we need to make some jars, and you know, there's a whole bunch of other stuff, right? So right now, I need to make some jars, okay? So if we go back to ours, and on the next page, there should be a jar, right? A source jar. And they start off at 0% full, and then kind of range up. So what I'm going to do is just going to grab a whole bunch of this. We're probably going to need some more glass. So if we grab a stack out of there, and then we'll shove that in there. We need some coal, tiny coal, so we'll grab some there and we'll put the tiny coal in there instead of the tiny charcoal. But yeah, we get some more glass. So we've got some glass smelting there, we've got a couple of source gems and stuff, bits and pieces, and we've got this stuff cooking up. Right. So that will get us going for a little while, or keep us going for a little while, but we'll get a couple of jars now, and then we'll work on getting the other stuff. So if we go back to where the source jar is and then just build 2 for now, we've completed a quest, which is fine. What we want to do is make sure that they are within range of all of this equipment, right? Now I know, for instance, that a good range will be here and here, but I want more. Honestly, I do want more, because that would be absolutely awesome. Now, to link these things, we need something called Dominion Wand. Now, Dominion Wand gives this funky pattern, right? But look, it uses the enchanting apparatus, which, funnily enough, I've built, right? So if we click on the enchanting apparatus, you can see it's source stone with a diamond, etc. You know how source stone is created. It's created with just stuff in it. So what we need to do is have a look at the pattern. So we need to put 2 source gems, some gold, and then in the center, we need to right-click the center apparatus with a stick, right? So we need 2 gold, we need source gem. So if we go 2 gold, like on the plinths, yeah? Now the plinths have to be within 5 or 3. But if you right click on this, you can see that they are within range. You can reach all of this. There we go, pedals must be within 3 golds. So if we take our stick now and put it in the middle, okay, it's not happy with the recipe because it got the recipe wrong. So we're going to take the stick back and we're going to put a source gem in the middle. So it's 2 source gems, 1 gold. Now if I hit it, it does all this funky stuff. It does a spinny thing, and then magically it will stop, collect, and boom. Now I've got my item. So there's my Dominion one, right? Now with this thing, we can do some really cool stuff. We can go over to this thing, and we can right click on it and set the position, and then see this relay. We're going to right click that, so we are taking source from there and putting it into here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send, so we're going to right click on this again, and we're going to put that into the jar. So now it's taking from one location, sending to the next. We're going to do this with the other one. Now there is a limit to how far these can go, and hopefully I'm within that limit, because I can't remember what the limit is. But it will soon tell you there's not a limit. Now you can see these little zoomy particles, right? Now there's not very many of them at the moment. These are not really doing much. But watch when I right click this to allow things to grow again, yeah? And we'll do this on the other side as well, because why not? And then we'll jump up out here and we'll go and we'll put this stuff away, right? Because we don't actually need this, we're just using it for that. Now you see, every time something grows, a little bit of sauce goes into the jar. Now watch, yeah, there we go, I've got the hose. So watch this. As I grow, look at that, all that sauce going into there, and then into there, and then into here. Yeah? So all we got to do is keep the crops, when they finish growing, trim them down, let them grow again. Good. So this now affects everything in this radius, right? So if I put a gem in here, you can see, not really that quick. However, if I go like that and link that one to here, now a bit quicker. Now if I'm going to make this really quick, I'll put it a little bit closer. And it should be able to just take from the tanks. There we go. As you can see, a lot quicker. So you can link them, but it's easier just to put it within a certain area. And I think the area is just around it. I'm pretty sure it's around it. Yeah, a couple of blocks. So for this thing as well, it has to be within a few blocks of that. So, you know, this is a lot quicker now, but still, you know, it takes a little bit of time to get these gems because we haven't got a lot of source at the moment. Now, saying that, what we could do is we could just go around, grow everything, like so. All the source then comes from the growing, and we should be able to, there we go, that's all, almost all done. Then we get some more growing there, and then we harvest it, we can grow again. So if we do need a quick bit of source, we can always increase it. right? So we can always boost it. Now this is going to be a bit of a pain if we haven't got enough room. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to throw all this stuff out because we don't actually need it, right? Now there are other sources. There's lava. There's a whole bunch of other sources. Now they're all in the book, right? So if you grab the big book of metallurgy, that is for the other stuff, right? So that's for our other book. So don't use that one. You know, I definitely picked up that book to show you what not to use. Yeah, that was actually what I did. It wasn't I picked up the wrong book. Okay, so here we've got the Tattered Tome, which basically gives you an idea of what these things are. So there's the Argonomic. Then you've got Source Relay, you've got the Source Jar, so it explains everything in here. However, you've also got glyphs and stuff, so spells, spellbook, world generation. It literally goes through trinkets and everything. So what you want to do is you want to go back in and look at the source. And this gives you all the different ones. So you've got mycelial, so generates a moderate amount of source from nearby food. You've got alchemical, generates potions from potions. You've got argonomic, which is from crops and trees grown within 15 blocks, which is why those fields are big. And then you've got volcanic, so generates source by consuming burnable items. Archwood logs will generate bonus source with blazing archwood generating the most. So you throw that down nearby and then it consumes it. You've got vitalic, that generates from death and animals, right? So you could put that next to it and then the animals would be able to breed that quite well. So you've got these things. Now you've also got source relays, which is what we were just playing with, and the Dominion wand, which is what we were also playing with. Now there is a thing where at the moment we've got that going to here, which fills up this jar, right? Which is fine. We can only fill up one jar at a time though. So when that one gets full, we're kind of screwed, right? Because we won't be able to fill up anymore. So if I want to be able to fill up multiple jars at once, right, there's another item that we're going to need, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple more jars. So where's the jars? There's the jars. So I'm going to grab a couple more. I'm just going to grab 7 because why not? Right, so I've grabbed a couple of jars. Most of the advanced crafting is done on the pedestals and with the enchanting apparatus. Not the imbuement thing. This is more for individual bits. But this, we've got that, right? So when this fills up, this will stop. And when that fills up, this will stop, right? So what we do is we play dirty. We go here, so that will fill up this, then that will go to here, then that will go to multiple locations over here. This one will go, so I'm going to put it there. So we're not going to do 3. I mean, it would be probably a good idea to do 3, but we're not going to do 3. So I'm going to put these ones down here. It would be good, realistically, for my mental health to have one more jar, because otherwise that will drive me nuts. So we're going to get one more jar, right? There we go. Boom. Okay, so now we've got 8 jars, and we've got the source is not going into that jar because it's not linked. It's going straight to here and then going straight to the jar over here, right? So what we need to do is we need to create, with the source relay, which is why I've created a couple, we need to create this one, which is a source relay splitter, alright? So it splits it into 2. So we need some nether quartz and we need some things, but we also need 8 pedestals, which is why I haven't put them around there yet. So we've got 5 pedestals, so we need 3 more, right? Now pedestals are fairly straightforward. So arcane pedestals are literally fairly straightforward. It's just a couple of bits and pieces. As you can see, I'm going to do another couple of those, and then we need 1 more. So I need some more source stone, which luckily I've got enough to make some source stone here. Let's put that in there, put that over there, and then what we should be able to do is just do our last one. And I'm not going to do another one, I'll do just 3. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these down here, and then we'll put 1 here. Right, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8. So that means that we can now actually go ahead. So I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to get rid of the pedestal, and I'm going to get rid of that because we don't want to die with things. And we're going to go with the source relay. So we're going to go with the source relay, and then so we need 4 nether quartz, and we need 4 lapis. Now I'm not sure that I have nether quartz. I've got the lapis, but I'm not sure about the nether quartz. So we're going to go and have a look. It might be in here. I doubt it though. Although chiseled quartz blocks might. They might hold nether quartz. I don't know. I can't remember. However, we do have a hammer. We have a netherite hammer we've got. No. I'm sure that they... Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Let's have a look. No. That goes into Vitik. Oh, there we are. So we need an enrichment chamber to make that, or... Yeah, an enrichment chamber. Right, cool. I don't really want to make an enrichment chamber because that means that I've got to get into mechanism and do all the other stuff. So let's have a look at quartz. We have enough quartz. Perfect. Okay, we only need 4. Well, realistically, we need a bit more than that, but yeah. Okay, so we can make 2. So we've got our 2 source blocks. We've got some quartz and we've got some lapis lazuli. So we'll put those on there. And 4. And we'll put our thing in there. And then it will just do it. So if there's a valid pattern, it will just make the pattern. Like so. And then when it finishes, all the recipe will disappear and we will get our part. Now, there's no recipe, so you can't put it down, see? So we put the recipe on the blocks and then throw that thing in there and it will do its thing and we'll be good. Now, we've already got one, so I'm going to use that. Now, what we want is there to here to split, right? So I'm going to put it down here. We are then going to get our wand. So we're going to go back over here and get, where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. I threw it out and went into my inventory. Fair enough. Okay, so here to here to here to here to there. Right? Now these only do 2, which is not the best. However, what we're going to do is going to right click and position set, you see that bottom left, and put it into here. Then we're going to position set from here to here, so that we're pulling from there. And there you go, you should see the pink to pink to pink to there. Then this to here, and this should go to here, and then there to there. Sending to 2 locations, 3 locations, 4 locations. Okay, so the stuff from here is going into these 4 jars equally. Now we're going to go and do the same with this one. So there to there, there to there, this to the splitter, and this to 1, to 2, to 3, and to 4. So now what we've got is we've got quite a big storage system, right, which is not massively full right yet, but all of the growing and stuff like that will come into here and it will feed into these 4, and all the growing here will feed into these back 4, and over time these will just grow naturally, so therefore we'll be fine, right? And as you can see, it then just fills up the jars, so we can then just come back here and just do this, and it's fast. Add source nearby to increase crop speed, right? So if I wanted to increase this a little bit more, this is how nuts it could go, is we could put that on top of a jar, right, and then put it in there, and it literally just grabs all of that. So it can grab from all around there now. As you can see, it's fast, like a lot faster than before. See? Because it can grab from more jars, it's happier. Right, so I'm going to do this last one and then that's it. We're not going to do any more of these ones. Now, there is, obviously, we needed to get into ours anyway. Realistically, we didn't need to. In all honesty, we didn't need to get into ours, but it's a lot easier with some of the things that we want to do, and a lot nicer to actually use ours to get to that point. So ours is good, ours is all set up. That will literally just continue to grow, and then every so often I'll go in there and I'll harvest the crops, and then they can regenerate again. Now what I will say though is at the moment that's what I'm going to be doing. However, when we get a bit further down the line, I'm pretty sure that there's an automated way of sorting those crops out. So that will just be an automated generator or an automated source. Now we needed ours, right? Because right now we have a whole bunch of system that is primed and ready to do this mega torch system, right? But we've got no mega torches, so we need blazing archwood, which is perfect because we've got that now. We need some torch and we need some diamonds. Now I'm pretty sure that the torches I've got here, I will more than likely need some more, which I will go and make in a second so that we're not going to run out. We need to grab a whole bunch of diamonds because I've only got 2 on me, so we need to get all those, and we obviously need some blazing archwood saplings, which we've got. So we don't have a lot of these, so I'm going to grow a couple now, and then we're going to harvest those, and then we're going to be all good, like so. And then hopefully I'll get some more saplings, which is what I need. Boom, and then that should explode, and then we should get more saplings. Right, I've got 28 saplings, which is more than enough saplings for what I need to do. Now we need diamonds. We need diamonds, and we need torches. So let's go make some torches and grab some diamonds. So if we go and grab some sticks, and then some charcoal, and we put them in the right place. Let's just grab a whole bunch, so that we've got enough for what we need to do, and we should have enough source by the time we get in there as well. And we're going to grab a stack of diamonds. We've got 2 back in there. We can always come back and get some more, and then as you see I've put a system up here which I'm going to link to the main system so that I don't have to keep running backwards and forwards to get to there. However, I could just run over there because there is one there. What we are now going to do though is we need to have a look at the recipe, which is 3 and 3 and 1, right? So 3, 3 and 1. So if we go here, here and here, we go 3 and then 3 and 1. And we're going to do 4 of these first. We'll do 4 now, and then we will, there we go, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and take the torch. There we go. Right, so now we've got a mega torch. That's 800% speed increase. That's going to be so nice. So we'll go, like I said, we're going to do 4. I will do the rest off of camera, but we'll do 4 right now because I want to show you the speed, and I also want to get some of the stuff. So that's 1 more then. 1 more, and then I'll do the rest off camera. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Oh, wrong one. Wrong, no, wrong, there we go, like so. Okay, we'll grab this last torch and then we will go and do what we need to do. Okay, we go. Right, so now over here we've got a lava block which is doing the, what's it doing at the moment? It's doing lapis lazuli. So you see how slow that was. We'll put that in there now. Watch that. Look at that. That is what we wanted all of this time, 2 or 3 episodes, literally for that kind of speed. So yeah, insanely happy. We're going to put some stuff in the network now, because we can put stuff in the network now. Look at this. Well, it's almost accepting stuff. We're just going to shove, no, I want those. I am going to shove those in, and we're done with the source now, so I don't really need the source. We're going to do that. Now what we're also going to do is we're going to shove one under copper, and then we're going to break this, and we're going to put this one under iron. So we've got copper and iron, which are the ones that clog up the system the most. Now, it will start going down very slowly, but this system is backed up, like insanely backed up, and it's going to take a while for that to clear down. But it will eventually clear down. Now, I'm going to help this one, because over here, we've got that. And that one I can't help, this one I can. Yeah, there we go, I can help with that one as well. So we've cleared a little bit of the system. We'll probably get into a lot of bits and pieces anyway. But, right, so that's that. We need to take that out, and we need to put it in here. And then we should be all good. We'll get some of rid of the lapis as well. There we go. And then basically the system will eventually catch up. Now we could help it along with some gold, if we've got any gold, which I don't think we are processing gold at the moment, but I know that the diamond stuff, we can process some gold, so I'm going to do that. But what we could do is help this along with gold and diamonds, right? Because we've got plenty of diamonds. Actually, it's not that way that I want it. I want that, and then I want glass, don't I? Where's glass? Or is that over the other side? Oh no, we've got some glass in here. Perfect. So if I do that, that will give us some upgrades, right? So we're going to grab, we're going to grab a couple of upgrades just to help the system out, right? We're going to go over. We've already upgraded to gold, so now we're going to upgrade to diamond. And we've got 5 upgrades, which should give us a little bit more room in the system. I mean, obviously they're going to fill up pretty quick, as you can see, but that should filter itself out over time. As you can see, that's quite hard. So what we'll do is as we go along and as we get more, because obviously the diamonds and stuff will be able to be made over here. We are going to chop this one up, and we're going to take that one out, and then we're going to put these in here. Yeah, there we go. So that's all good. That will now just be diamonds, which will go into the system and get sorted up in the system. So I need to make the rest of them so that we can get those out, but that should speed up the process to get the inventory system free. Plus, once we upgrade to diamond on everything, I will then increase over here. I will also go through and put a whole bunch of chests on this side and the other side, and we'll do that. That'll be quite cool. Alright, so right now we've got ours, we've got our 800% speed increase, which I will manually do off camera, like I said. So we'll get all of these up and running. We've got our clay system, which I'm going to move at some point. That gives us a really good starting point to get into the whole tinkering stuff, right? Which is the the productive metalworks. That is a whole section on itself, so I'm going to do that next episode. But realistically, we would need to get into mystical infusion, but I need a few more pieces at the moment. We need some stone, which I'm going to smelt up. We've got red wool and we've got gold, but we need that in the system, so we need that to smelt up a little bit first. But we've got 45, so that's not going to take that long. We've got red wool, which is fine, but what I could do is, I don't know if there is another airdrop around, maybe, because what we could do is when there is an airdrop, which I don't think there is one at the moment, I might have missed it. Is that an airdrop? Was it an airdrop? Crafting, sourcing, 112 blocks north, which is that way. There might be one over there, but when there's another airdrop, I'll steal all the wool and we'll be good. But I think for now, I think that's wrapping up the episode. It's coming up to half an hour now. So yeah, it would be good if we just wrap it up there. We've done ours, we've got the source generating, we've got that stuff over there. I'm going to go and make sure that I do all of the rest of the torches. So we've got 1, 2, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 torches. Is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, so we need 10 more torches. I'm going to do that. However, I'm not going to bore you with it. I will do that in my own time. But I have been Syntosis, you have been Ocean. Latest.